When I start recording, and welcome to another week of market structure with Aussie. Let's have a little scan at what the market has in store for us for this week, and we'll look at some setups and possibly some live setups too, depending on what the market gives us. But as usual, we like to start with dollar. Nothing new on the dollar. You can see we are starting to make on the daily some retracement moves. So we've gone obviously from low to low, and now we've bottomed out here, making higher high, higher high, and then likely print out another higher low as we speak. So in today's candle, which has got 11 hours. So the target for me is this area right here, this candle around the 102. Expecting anything against the dollar to potentially drop, because if the dollar does go up, obviously we're expecting some bearish price action. And I've got a 4-hour candle marked up, which is pretty obvious buy to sell move. So very much an institutional move that we can see. Where's my mouse gone? Other way. My mouse just disappeared. Sorry. You can see this very clear institutional move right here. So that's my dollar target. And what we're doing here in terms of DXY, which is obviously a bit of Forex, but really it's for the whole broader market, is we are creating liquidity. So when we see this kind of consolidation, we obviously expect market to come and grab it. So I am expecting, sooner or later, potentially a big expansion on the upside, and that would actually kind of line up potentially to a bit of an harmonic pattern. Hasn't given us the cleanest setup just yet, but if your eyes are a little bit trained to see a harmonic, this could potentially be a wave A to B, and this could be the C to D wave. So something like this is definitely possible in terms of what the market could give us. In fact, sorry, I apologize, this was actually the low, so it will be something like this for a very ugly harmonic, but still harmonic nevertheless, until we obviously break structure. So with that in mind, we can obviously expect some of the assets to drop if we have a dollar going up, and things like Bitcoin, of course, which is the first thing that we look at. We've discussed this now a couple of weeks ago. We are in between two major areas, but we are inching ever so closer to the top of the range, which is obviously where we have this beautiful selling pressure box. And you can see we've got marked out some pretty significant levels. Obviously buy to sell move there. This daily candle is very clean, takes out liquidity. We also have a 4-hour candle there, so I'm expecting this liquidity level obviously to be taken out with the within the next few days slash week, but not before potentially we take out some downside liquidity if the dollar is to go up. Now the dollar and Bitcoin are not as correlated as they used to be, but the fact that we are now obviously inching closer to the upside gives me a bit of a bias in terms of where Bitcoin might go, and that is to the upside, and potentially coming and take out this candle right here. So this area from here to here, this area is the 786 to 886. So that's why we like the area, that's why we box it up, and we can expect some liquidity taken. So lots of confluence around that area. We'll get to that point though once we take out this liquidity. So I'm not gonna make any moves. I'm not gonna try to short from these levels, neither I'm gonna try to long from these levels, because I am too close to potentially the point of interest. So at the moment for me it's a sitting and waiting area, unless obviously we play some scalps, which I'm not a huge fan in this current market. It's a little bit too close to the top of the range, and also a little bit unpredictable with the news that we have. So this is obviously Forex Factory, where we get all of our news. You can see 4 a.m. Tonight for us here in Australia. We've got FOMC, obviously US massive news, unemployment claims. So there's a big week, I guess 24 to 48 hours for news across the board, which means we'll see likely some volatility across all assets. Who knows what Trump is going to say? So for the time being, it wouldn't actually surprise me if we come and fill these gaps which we've left on hourly. So this is some pretty sizable imbalances from 96 to 95, so about $1,000 imbalance there, meaning in this area there was pretty much no sellers, just buyers. And obviously we have this whole area right here marked up as an imbalance, right? So that's what an imbalance is, and we can just leave it there for visual reference and come back to it tomorrow after FOMC and see what we do. But my bet will be we're likely going to see some sort of action move like this, come and take it out to then continue higher. So this is Bitcoin. Solana, we have obviously taken an awesome trade. I hope you guys watching the recording also took this trade, because we not only enter on level 1, entry 1, and we are still in profit and hit TP2, but we also, if you apply the 2 entry logic like I always recommend we do, you would have sniped an incredible risk to reward trade. So this at TP2 was in itself 1.3, almost 3.5 at TP2, and I obviously took TP1 and TP2 profit as we always do, and as I pinged in the channel, at TP2 we actually covered entry just in case now we see some sort of price reaction from news and we get some sort of rejection from the local highs, and then we come and invalidate the entry. So we don't want to be obviously in negative. We've taken profit at TP1 and we've taken profit at TP2. If we continue higher, great. If not, we've got two TP levels already hit. So, and we'll break even. That's Solana, which is obviously quite similar to Bitcoin in terms of possible move, but Ethereum is slightly different. You can see Solana and Ethereum have been moving a little bit similar, but in terms of where they are in the macro level, I think Ethereum is actually in a better place. The structure that we're forming shows a lot more strength, in my opinion. You can see this kind of accumulation, of course, down here on a daily candle basis is significant. There's liquidity above, liquidity below. We are likely going to take liquidity in one of the it's a 50-50 chance in one of the directions. We don't have a huge imbalances below, but we do have a fair bit of liquidity, of course. So a quick below to then move higher and come and retest this daily candle, which has not been retested, unlike Sol and other pairs which have had this daily candle retested already. ETH still has more upside than others, so I am really quite happy with where ETH is sitting at the moment, both in terms of portfolio and obviously leverage. Leverage, I'm not gonna take anything now because I want to see liquidity taken out first. And portfolio, I was screaming down here, try to get at least 1 ETH if you can, or however much ETH you can, sub 1500, because I think this could potentially have been the bottom for ETH for this cycle. So, and if not, very close. So, bullish on ETH. XRP, we have a slightly different structure. Obviously has had this massive impulse from the beginning of the cycle last year, or I should say last year, 2024, and we are now retracing. But the good thing about XRP that I'm noticing is that we actually managing to keep this level. So aside from these ugly wicks, we've managed to keep them quite strong, but we have broken this big trend line liquidity on a daily, and what I'm seeing here is a very nice, appealing long level, potentially from here. And if you want to go even a little bit lower, let's just get rid of this for now, and just go potentially at a 50% of that daily candle and a stop loss just below the 886. So something like this is definitely a nice long for XRP, which I can see eventuating shortly. Obviously we have taken out this liquidity line, but we do have these two major liquidity areas still up for grabs. One we've already taken, so we can just do a little line, but you can see next one is going to be this one. So this is going to be my alert zone, and the way I do it is usually I just put a little alert there and I just say create alert once I got that. And oh, they change. What's going on? They change. Except change. I don't know what's going on. Message. Yeah, they must have updated their website. But usually I have enter by setup, and then I always say wait for lower time frame confirmation. Right? We don't take trades just blindly. So that's the way I do it. And you can see I've got other notifications there, which is, I don't know what they've done. I have to have a look. I didn't realize that that trading viewers changed their alerts. Must have done it yesterday or today. Okay, big fours are out of the way, which means now we can have a bit of a look-see at what is going to be next, potentially. If you're setting up, or if it started, when was that? Can you? Sorry. Sorry guys, just having a very quick issue with someone on the chat. Hopefully they can hear me fine. Oh dear. Bear with me. Input and... Can you guys hear me now? Testing, testing. Just want to make sure that you guys can hear, because I can see myself talking on there. Sorry team, for those of you that are watching the recording, just troubleshooting some audio issues in the chat. Someone cannot hear me, but I am definitely talking there. Jesse, can you hear me? Okay. Yes. Sorry. Ran. Might have to change the audio. Output. Cool. Sorry, somebody in the chat. I've got people that can hear me and people cannot hear me, so gotta make sure that everyone's looked after. So what we just covered, the main four, the big four, obviously, and we are expecting some sort of retracement. So I won't take anything right at this stage. What we do have, however, in terms of active trades, we managed to catch a beautiful Tau short, which he hit almost full TP. And obviously, when we see these trades, as soon as we have to trail stop losses and whatnot. So I saw you guys took awesome profits. I didn't even have the chance to update the TPs, but we absolutely smashed that. So well done, well done, well done. We took some awesome percentages. And say was a setup which we kind of called. I said wait for potentially an entry two. So entry one was off this awesome 1 hour candle, which was a very clear institutional move. These are super clear candles. You can see big push down, take out liquidity before the move up. So right away we knew that that level was going to get hit, and potentially for entry two, we also went down at a lower time frame, which was, I think it was a 15 minutes, and entry two indeed was also hit. So we've got entry one and entry two, both in profit currently. Their next take profit on say, I'll actually do it now because I realized that we didn't do it either. So let me get my magnet. Entry one, this is a take profit for say, and we'll also like to get a take profit just below that imbalance gets filled, and we also likely would like a take profit right here, which is not on this candle right here, but a little bit earlier in that order block, just to make sure that it doesn't front run. And then of course we've got the final TP, which is up here. So 4 take profit along the way, and the way we take profit is also via fibs. So we take the top of the range to the bottom of the range, and you can see the take profit is roughly the 50%, which is good. Another one between the 618 and the 786, and then obviously yeah, as we go up we scale out. So yep, happy with those take profits. So these are the updated take profits for say. And before I actually forget, I might just quickly put it into the chat, take profits, and tag you guys just in case, because then if for whatever reason you're not watching the recording, you miss out. So say updated TPs. Cool. And we'll tag you guys. So you've got updated TPs on say as well, live. We also had an Orca setup, which is still going, and we absolutely sniped it. You can see TP1 was hit, and I'll probably say that this TP2 will likely get retested, and TP2 for Orca is going to be this low down here. Once we see some action, pro price action I should say, that gets to this level, $2.31, we'll likely scale out about 25%, because there is a chance that we actually go a little bit lower even. I was quite conservative on that take profit on the 786, but I would like to see even like a low 2/high 19s for Orca. But for now we'll keep it where it is. Make sure to take profit on the next level up, and once again I take my handy dandy alarm and I say take profit to hit, right? And that's how we do it. So that way we know when that hits and we can take profits. Radium was obviously a very long swing, which again we sniped it. I said make sure that you are taking this profits on the way out. I think I call profits here and here, so you should if you get the ping on Aussie channel, you would have got TP1 and 2 also hit. So all up, very happy. I did also take a personal trade. You can see I've got it here on area. That was a personal one, which I didn't call, and because I wasn't overly confident on the level. And yeah, as you can see, not all my trades are always winning. It's good to see some losing as well. And this was on a personal trade, which I once again didn't call because I wasn't confident. The reason why I wasn't confident, and it's good to get over this this trade with you guys. That's why I wanted to show you. I had it set up obviously with Aero Drone Finance moving higher, and I was playing off this massive order block right here, which is this big sell to buy move. However, as you can see, I also had highlighted below this massive imbalance down here, and when you see these kind of imbalances, there's a very strong chance the market comes and grabs some liquidity into this. This was a daily imbalance, I think, or even like a 1 hour. It was a pretty ugly imbalance. All up, you can see, and sure enough, I did put a stop loss quite tight on there because I didn't want to have a major stop loss, but yeah, it got stopped out, which is fine. So these are the kind of trades that I don't mind taking myself because I fit my confirmation. However, I don't want to call with you guys because obviously there's a responsibility there. There is also a point to be made that if this was in fact a trade that I did when I was in front of the charts, this would have been a entry 2, as you can see, at the A6 with a stop loss down below. So had I been in front of the charts at the time of the trade, I could have done an entry 2, but I wasn't. I was enjoying some time with family for the wife's birthday. So we'll cover a few little trades that are both active and possible setup on XRP, Sol, ETH, and of course BTC. But now I think we might just go through and have a bit of a look at some stocks perhaps, and where we're at with stocks. Of course, it's a new week. I've got Nike as always been on the watch. Right there. Nike's been on the watch for a while. That was my first entry, once again called out in the stocks, and you can see we're hovering in profit right here. So if you don't have any Nike in your stock portfolio, this is probably a very good level to to add some, I'd say, because at a very high level, you can see we've traded below the COVID candle in 2020, which was this unmistakable drop where everything just crashed. We are below that level. We came and almost mitigated this kind of really low levels down here. So the risk to reward for Nike is quite something at the moment. And the other thing that we also like to see is this kind of volume. So massive price action, bearish, and we can see this kind of volume coming in at this low. I'm going to give Nike really not that many more days / maybe week to start moving in the opposite direction and really start making some moves. So consider this as your friendly reminder to add some Nike at these levels if you don't have any. XYZ, which was another one that we called, had about a 20% run, I think it was, from my entry, and then earnings came out and they were negative. So yeah, 20%, 19% earnings came out and they were negative. So we traded back below the entry, but I am buying again. These levels, I was bullish here. There's no reason why I'm not going to be bullish at $45, which is below our entry. As you can see, conveniently, we traded into the massive fair value gap or imbalance that we created, which means we are now officially mitigated into that specific imbalance anyway. So love to see there is a possibility we go and fill out this smaller imbalance down here. Sure, why not? I'll keep buying just in case. But if we go from 47 to 35, it's a lot less than if we go from 45 to 90. So the upside, right, this move, it's a lot better and bigger than this move, right? So that's the logic and risk to reward logic that we need to apply when we're taking some of these trades. Of course, on stocks and crypto portfolio and crypto coins that fit our portfolio logic. So XYZ is still bullish, and Snapchat we took an option. Here, I think it was with $7. Actually, $7. That's I've got it right here. Sorry, I just changed colors, so I don't recognize it. It was that and that. So we took an option with a $7 strike price, and we are obviously in profit. The option that I took is quite long. It's until January 2027. So there is plenty of time for Snapchat to do its thing, and you can see once again trading very much at lows. So massive volume coming in right now this week right here, which is great. Highest volume since February and one of the highest since last year. So that obviously tells us that there's interest. You can see the volume here was bearish. There's not a lot of room to go below now for Snapchat. So extended levels, we want to buy at discount, not a premium, basically, and very much at a discount. We've taken, you can see all this beautiful liquidity down here, and we even took this liquidity here. So all this is now clear for the move up. So once again, Snapchat and Nike, great levels as we speak. This was a stock which we talked about last week as well, which was last week it was WBA, Walgreens Boots Alliance. So chemists in the US. Once again, this earnings here came out positive. And you can see we have some pretty big moves to cover still on the way up, and I'm bullish personally on this company in the sense that these guys are pretty much in every corner in the US. So it's a company that there's going to be some acquisitions and whatnot, but if you see news, they always have bearish and bullish news usually, but it's good to see that today on pre-market is already trading at 10.98. So probably gonna do a bit of these consolidations for a while. And then what I've been looking at in stocks has been PayPal, which we called that entry right here, 59. So we up already a bunch. It's 15%, 15%. So great. Let PayPal do its thing, and we also had Etsy. Similar concept with Etsy. We are trading at COVID lows, which is very much a discount area for many stocks, almost all of them. Oh, sorry, didn't grab my arrow. So COVID candle right here, and now we're trading into it. There's a possibility that we go a little bit lower on Etsy. I did flag that we probably like to see around high 30s for Etsy before going a little bit heavier on portfolio, but I started this year in here. So once again, if we drop a little bit, I'd rather have some exposure than no exposure for this. These are pretty much the stocks that I've been looking at currently. I have Rivian on my watch list, but we managed to catch a couple of really good moves on Rivian. I am waiting for this level to be hit again, so I'm not rushing it. I want to see Rivian coming back, fill this little imbalance, and potentially enter around the 12, even high 11s, to then see this trend line liquidity taken out. So once that happens, we'll obviously ping it. I want to see this kind of move and then come and trade into this massive imbalance up here. So this move obviously will eventuate over months or weeks or months. It's not super quick. You can see this kind of move is from April to July. So if we see something like this, and I always do this as a comparison, so grab a low, grab a high, do the ghost feet pattern. So something like this could definitely eventuate, but that would take us obviously around August. So patience with stock, it's the key. But overall, I'm waiting for market to come to us, and obviously once we take this out, great stuff. You probably can't see it, but the way I have set up, I've got a little invisible line here that's got an alarm for when price gets down there. So it will tell me when price goes up and the alarm goes off. That's pretty much it for stocks, and from what I'm looking at, there's not a lot of Forex that I've been doing currently, aside from some scalping on the 1 minute. Just a little bit of fun. But other than that, I've been trading AJ, which is AUD, so Australian dollar versus Japanese yen, a fair bit. And I'm liking this level. It's very similar to New Zealand JPY, of course, very highly correlated. But you can see we basically just formed this massive liquidity area, which is ready and prime to be picked, but it's just now a matter of seeing, do we continue to make lower lows for a little while and go down and then move up, come and take this out and finally take it, or are we ready now to move, test and explode? So until we have a bit of a clearer picture, this kind of scenarios and setups, you find them on crypto all day, every day as well. So don't rush them, just wait. You're basically at the top of a range and you're too far off from the bottom. You can see how much space we got at the bottom, and we are too close to the top, because this thing could potentially just reverse as well before it makes the actual move. So when I see these setups, always remember patience is key. We don't want to rush them, so forget the ticker, forget that it's Forex. It's the market, how it moves. We need to be attuned to the moves. Euro USD, of course, because we have talked about dollar potentially moving a little bit higher. I like to see this kind of move for Euro USD come and fill some of these imbalances down here perhaps, and even here, to then move higher, because at a higher time frame this is pretty much a harmonic already played out. You can see this was the 1, 2, 3 and 4. So technically this harmonic is already completed in terms of actual structure, but if we manage to push up a little bit higher, potentially some of these imbalances up here, I wouldn't be adverse into waiting for lower time frame confirmation as always. At the moment we've got nothing. We've got a little bit of a 4-hour breaker structure, but you can see how extended this liquidity building is. So we're obviously building liquidity here, take some here, but now we're building again. So there's a lot of liquidity on the downside, which is congruent with the thesis that I just explained. I think we're going to go lower first before we go higher. So For Euro USD, if you play Forex, I say just wait for this level to be taken out, which is obviously a major level of liquidity, and potentially just wait for a move of similar to this. So where we come and take some of this liquidity up here, there's imbalances here, imbalances here, so come take back and then we move up higher. And if we take a fib, I'm fairly sure that that will be a nice level too. So low to high, you can see that's spanking on the 618, which makes perfect sense. If we do obviously a deeper retracement, we might even come back into this 4-hour candle and touch the 76, but we won't know until we get down there. So this will be in the next few days, unless obviously FOMC absolutely crashed the market. We'll see. That's pretty much it in terms of what I'm looking at for pairs. I haven't been trading a whole heap this week. It's good to take a little bit of a break. Lots and lots of stuff happening in the background though, so keep your eyes peeled because we've got some exciting news coming. Can't spill the beans, but let's just say that they're taking a lot of time to build in the background. So lots of good stuff happening, and GTG is about to get that much better. So with that said, if there's any questions or charts that you want me to take a look, as always, feel free to put them in the chat. Or if there's any question, feel free to get yourself off mute. Of course. Now, I think we're good. Jazzy, any question? You're good? If that is all G. Typing. All good. Perfect. Well, team, thank you so much for tuning in live. And for those of you that are catching this recording, please do make sure to leave a comment down below in the comment section on YouTube. Helps me, helps algorithm. It's always nice to know that I'm covering things that you want to see, and or if you want to hear from different things in the market, please leave a comment below. Super simple. Takes 2 minutes. Thanks, team. Love to see you guys, and as always, catch you on another stream. Bye now.